so wrong.
I would propose that the people who do that are actually relativistic in themselves. Because they're not judging with that, what I said, that outside moral law. Because that outside moral law doesn't say, eso es hombre. It says, that man is horrible. And he should be an outcast just as much as anyone else. But I don't think we have to go that far in the gender identity issues or the gender question issue or the sexual identity issue. An adulterous man is accepted more than an adulterous woman. We don't have to go that far and cross about who's attracted to who. Forget that. Just think it. A husband and wife who split up in a parish. The husband's still in the parish, allowed to maybe even serve in certain groups, at least as leadership. And the wife is like, what? And they both have a new husband or wife. I mean, we don't have to go that far. We don't have to go into a long distance. It's a much shorter route to get there. The thing is that's because they're not going on that outside moral law. They're still working from the inside. It just happens that the inside lines up a little more conveniently for them that day, that time. But they're still doing the exact same thing. I mean, but that's where it takes the time for someone to step forward and say, well, I'm going to quote Father Soler because he's the greatest preacher I've ever heard in my life. And you're free to use that. I have note cards with that written so you can keep it in your wallet, just so you can, no, but, you know, to say, wait a minute, no, wait, both are to be loved as human beings and brought to the reality of their wrongness with time. Because actually, really, technically the right first step is neither to reject either, actually. The right first step is say, thank God they're coming to church. Now that you're here, let's talk about some stuff. Hey, that's not so good, you know. And to be aware, as Thomas Aquinas says, that it may not be so easy for them to extricate themselves from the situation. Aquinas phrased it in a simple way, can they stop sin? Yes, they can, but how easy is it for them, depending on what their life is built like, right? They may have built their life on this relationship. That's not an okay relationship. But then to say, get out right now. How about we need to figure this out? Like, you need to learn how to love yourself. You need to learn that other person, you know, you can work through things and figure it out, you know? But yeah, I mean, I would say the first step here is to bring the person home. And now that they're home, then say, okay, well, now that you're home, we want to move you closer to God, not just be here. You know?
In regards to homosexuality, not that to be the main topic, but what if you have two friends who are homosexuals, they're getting married, and they obviously want you to be a part of the wedding, or just not even so much like the ceremony, but maybe the reception afterwards? What would you say to being a part of that or not being a part of that? And these are like your best friends.
Sure. I think the short answer and the long answer. The short answer is, if we're that close to each other, they'll know how I feel about these things.
They do.
So they wouldn't put me in a position where I can't. They would ask. They would say, what can you or can't? And that's really the right way to approach the question. The longer answer is that, but more in depth of saying, well, I have a conversation with them and say, okay, look, wait, there's something that I can do and there's something I can't really support. I love both of you. Yes, you do. I mean, that's why they're your friends. I love both of you. You know how I feel about it, and yet I don't. And it's you know, first let's not shrink it or miniaturize this to your feelings, because that's where things can get shady as it is. It's more along the lines of, you know what I believe, you know what I believe, you understand how the teachings that I follow, you know, that I understand, and then express, you know, where you can or where you can't participate in, you know. And then really, then it's a matter of like meeting and having a conversation, like, because we cannot participate as practicing Catholics in a mockery of the sacrament. Now, it doesn't mean that they are mocking the sacrament. They may mean it, or there is a way to maybe do this in a way that you can. But notice, I'm not saying for particularly same-sex marriage, because an adulterous marriage, that conversation is the exact same conversation. So, but there are ways you can show your support and your love. There are ways that you have to be willing to say, I can't. And if it's close enough that they care, then it's close enough that they care. If it's close enough that they care that you're there, then it's close enough that they care how you feel about it. You know, and so I would say what not to do is to avoid the conversation. Because it's going to come. You know, it's coming at you. And you're just looking away hoping it's not coming your way. And it's coming your way. but to do it in a loving, gentle way, as you can, because you know them well enough to know that you're their friends. And so to say, okay, look, we did that, okay, what can we do? I want to do something for you guys, but you can't do something that I can't be part of. And this is no more of an exaggeration than for them to ask you to participate in something else you can't participate in, right? Like if they asked you to participate in I was going to say something with witchcraft, or if you were another religion where food was prohibited, you can't be part of it, and that's okay, that's the thing. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it gets confusing when you look out into the ocean. So every once in a while, look back and look at the land, so you know which way is which. You get what I mean? Like, look at something firmer that's a clear anchor, and then keep making your decisions. So what I'm saying is, make that decision based on the reality of you can't ask someone to do something that's against their religion. Literally can't. And you wouldn't, you shouldn't, if it was out of love. Now they may not understand it because they might have met a whole lot of Catholics that are totally okay with it. Unfortunately, that's the real case, But then it's a matter of having a conversation saying, well, that's not right for me, I can't.
So not even like being a part of the reception or anything? Like not going to the ceremony, but just...
You can't go to the ceremony. I think there would be a difference of opinion in the reception. I think some would say you can go, some would say you can't. Some moral theologians, I would say check with one that you trust, that you open your heart to and then look at it. I would tell you, I think that you can participate in the reception. Again, depending on how you participate, that's the other thing. If you're doing the toast, the happy couple, that's not cool. So there's a way of participating in it. The other thing is it forces you maybe to get a little more creative about expressing your love for them as individuals. As both, saying I love you both. So maybe it forces you to be a little more creative about it. What about, now here's the fun one that nobody's brought up yet. What about cultural differences that may or may not be necessarily wrong, just different?
I was actually
arranged marriage. Their divorce rate's lower, actually.
Yes, they are.
Embarrassingly so, lower. Should always be embarrassed when somebody has a better car than you that they chose. Because then you're like, because I get to choose mine, I could have chose that. No. In the sense of saying like the thing is morally speaking, there's not a real issue there. Moral absolute. There's not a. The reality is that people look at it in a very small way. Father says this is who you're marrying. No. There's a beautiful cultural reality that's part of it. And there's a lot of conversation being had. And there's a lot of back and forth between the kids and the people they look for. It's not like, and it's a cultural reality, so they also have a lot more, I didn't say this, but they have a lot more support to stay married and to be supportive of each other. Because both of them understand, go in with it, with that mentality. I wonder if maybe more people who are free to marry in different cultures should go in with that mentality of, if I do this is permanent, not, I'm doing this till I get tired of it. There is no tired, thank you very much.
That's how it is here, because, it's only for as long as you're happy.
Marriage is the only contract that can be ended for no reason. Every other contract, civilly speaking, every other contract, you have to give grave reason. You'd be like, I want my car back. I'm bringing it back to Toyota. I don't like it. What, did you sign for it? Did you do the sign and drive when you drove? Then it's your car. There's something wrong with it? Nope. A differences of opinion. I don't want it anymore.
I think you brought up the issue of arranged marriage, right? So I think that and this goes to the idea of moral absolutes, right? So, I take issue when we're talking about like arranged marriages and it's a child
brides.
That's okay.
Right? So I think that's what we have to say. Yeah, I don't care what your culture says, right? That's just wrong.
Well, that's the same of female genital mutilation.
I was waiting for that one to come up.
Yeah.
Well, that's their culture. No, not okay. No, not okay. It's not a conversation. You're mutilating a human being. It's right in the word. It's right there. It's right in the word. It's real easy to figure that one out.
It's definitely as a historian. You see various cultures throughout history have done some type of physical mutilation or modification whether it's, extending the neck, or, plating the lip, or shaping the head, or binding the feet, and there's all these different kinds of things, but in most of the cases, at least that I've studied, they went into that voluntarily, like it was part of the culture, and it was either part of a rite of passage, right? Maybe not so much with like the geishas and binding their feet, but again, it's when you talk about like female genital mutilation, and some other things that we see in our world now. I don't know. I guess it's a question of, and this is where do we now, because we are a more global society, have an obligation to spread or create a global morality? I think